My mother-in-law keeps inviting my husband's ex-girlfriend to every family dinner because she's the daughter she never had. So I gave her an ultimatum. When I married Nathan 3 years ago, I knew his ex Juliana dated him through college. What I didn't know was that his mother Linda had basically adopted Juliana as her own daughter during those 4 years. Juliana and Nathan broke up 5 years before we met, but Linda never let go. She kept Juliana's photos on the mantle next to family pictures, still had her listed as emergency contact at her doctor's office, called her every Sunday night without fail. Nathan said it was harmless, his mom was just bad at letting people go. The first time I met Linda, she spent the entire lunch comparing me to Juliana. Juliana was taller. Juliana knew how to make Linda's famous pot roast. Juliana understood Linda's humor better. I smiled through it, figured she needed time to adjust. But 3 months into dating Nathan, we showed up for Sunday dinner, and Juliana was sitting at the table. Linda hadn't mentioned she'd be there. Juliana hugged Nathan for a full minute while I stood there holding the salad I'd brought. Linda said she thought it would be nice for everyone to catch up. Juliana spent the whole meal talking about her memories with Nathan, inside jokes, the trips they took together. Linda glowed like she was watching her favorite movie. This became the pattern. Every holiday, every birthday, every random Sunday, Juliana would mysteriously appear. She'd help Linda cook while I was told to relax in the living room. She'd sit in what Linda called her spot at the table. She knew where everything was in the house because she still had a key. Nathan would get uncomfortable but never said anything substantial to his mother, just weak protests that Linda would wave away. After we got engaged, I thought it would stop. Instead, Linda threw us an engagement party and made Juliana the unofficial co-host. Juliana gave a speech about how she was so happy Nathan found someone, though nobody would ever know him like she did. Linda actually filmed it. At our wedding, Linda tried to seat Juliana at the family table. I had to threaten to leave my own reception before Nathan finally stepped in. Juliana still came as Linda's +1, wore a red dress that Linda helped her pick, and cried through our vows loud enough that you can hear it on the video. Last month was Thanksgiving. I cooked for 2 days, made everything from scratch. When we arrived at Linda's, Juliana was already there wearing an apron that said Chef Juliana that Linda had custom made years ago. Linda announced Juliana had made her famous stuffing and we'd be using that instead of mine. She literally took my dish and put it in the garage refrigerator for leftovers. I went to the bathroom and cried. Nathan followed me, said I was overreacting, that it was just stuffing. That's when I decided I was done being polite. At dinner, Linda started her usual routine of Juliana stories. How Juliana was so successful at her marketing job. How Juliana just bought a house nearby. How Juliana was thinking about freezing her eggs since she hadn't found the right man yet, with a pointed look at Nathan. Then Juliana mentioned she was planning a trip to Italy, the same trip she and Nathan had planned but never took. She turned to Nathan and said maybe they could finally do it, as friends of course. Linda immediately suggested they should all go together, a family trip. That's when I stood up. I thanked Linda for proving that she'd never see me as family, that after 3 years of marriage, I was still just the woman who was keeping her son from Juliana. I turned to Juliana and said it was pathetic that she was still hanging around her ex's family, pretending she belonged there, that maybe she should find her own boyfriend's mother to cling to. Juliana started crying. Linda started yelling about disrespect. I kept going, told Linda that she could keep choosing Juliana, but she'd be choosing her over her own grandchildren, because I was pregnant, 12 weeks, and Linda would never meet this baby if Juliana was more important than her son's wife. Nathan stood up then, finally, and said we were leaving. Linda screamed that we couldn't leave. It was Thanksgiving. Nathan said Thanksgiving was for family, and clearly I wasn't considered family in this house. We left. Linda called Nathan 43 times that night. Juliana texted him saying I'd ruined everything, that their friendship was special. Nathan blocked Juliana's number and told his mother she had one choice. Either Juliana goes or we do. No middle ground. Linda chose Juliana. That was 3 weeks ago. Nathan's dad called yesterday. He said that we should have a family meeting because Juliana is pregnant with Nathan's baby. Full story on channel. Link below.